So, uh, the other eventful thing that happened at AEW All in London was the appearance of Mercedes Mone. Mercedes was in the stands taking in the event. She had a boot on. The camera was consistently cutting back to her during the course of the night. Tony Khan in the post-media scrum said that she isn't cleared for action yet, and Saraya uttered that she would love to see Mercedes in AEW, and she can't wait to work with her, and she can't wait for Mercedes to kind of work in AEW in some capacity, way, shape, or form. I wanted to know, seeing Mercedes Moné at All in London, how did you feel about that? To see Mercedes, even though it was in a very, very minuscule role, how did it feel to see Mercedes in AEW?
Oh, I was super excited. First of all, she looked at bomb. Like that wig that she had on, that little London inspired wig she had on, that shit was fire. She looked beautiful as always. I expected less from Miss Mercedes. But I mean, I wasn't surprised that she was there just because she's a fan of pro wrestling. Like, not just a WWE girl, not just a New Japan girl. She is just a fan of pro wrestling, and I think that is really cute that, honestly, she took the time to fly herself out and show up to one of the most historic events in wrestling history. So, did I immediately think that she's going to AEW? Not quite, but I could still see it. You mentioned earlier you could see her mixing it up with Saraya. That's a very easy way to introduce her. Do I personally think that I care to see her started off with Saraya? Not really, but I think I think that quite possibly she was there to watch as a viewer, but also to probably see and witness the show in real time of like, all right, is this a promotion I want to work with? God forbid I want to just cut ties with New Japan. I already got my little ick off, because she already she's been in New Japan for around a year now. You know what I mean? You know, she said that's one of her dreams. And I don't really think there's a lot for Miss Mercedes to be doing out there in Japan. I mean, I feel like she gave us a lot of content, but I feel like if she really wants to, like, continue her legacy, I personally want to see her, if not back in WWE, which I fully respect if she don't want to come back, I feel like she's definitely needed in AEW. They need to have an actual veteran. We brought this up in the group chat. I feel like they could straighten shit the fuck out if they brought people who know how to hold themselves in this business, and they have somebody for other wrestlers. Hold on, let me stick this earbud out. I feel like it would be helpful if they had a wrestler to look up to, someone who is used to being the face of a company, someone that's used to carrying a title and being held to a high regard, someone that's used to putting on 5-star matches, someone who's used to working solo in a tag team, in a faction or whatnot, someone who is used to seeing collab deals, that knows how to brand themselves inside and outside of the wrestling company. Like, I feel like if they had someone to basically model, and they probably thought they were going to get that with Saraya, and we didn't. If we had someone like Miss Mercedes, I feel like it would help straighten that company out, and they definitely could, like, use her creative input on how to help some of the females with their creative direction, whether it's within their characters, whether it's within their storylines. Like, I feel like she would have such amazing input because she's seen it all. She's worked as low as being in the indies, and she's traveled all around the world. So I hope that her and Tony Khan are in good talks. Maybe they could, like, introduce her here and there with, like, a one-off match just to tease her. But I think that this division strongly needs someone like Mercedes. That is what the women are missing. And I feel like if we can't get the men to straighten out their bullshit over there, they could definitely correct what's going on with the women, with her. So that's all I have to say about that. How do you feel about Mercedes' appearance?
I'm going to make this super duper quick. First and foremost, I think that Mercedes appearing at All In made this event that much bigger. We know the crossover appeal that she has. We know how appealing she is to wrestling fans, we know how big of a deal she is in the world of wrestling. Obviously, she's injured. The last time we saw her in a ring was against Willow for the New Japan Strong Women's Championship, arguably a championship that was made for her. But I feel like this was a very, very good move. I think this implies that we're probably going to see Mercedes in AEW sometime soon. I personally can't wait because I know what she brings to the table. And I believe that while AEW may not have the best women's booking, I do believe that they are stacked with talent, and there are so many possibilities that Mercedes has in AEW, whether it's Saraya, Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker. The options and the possibilities are limitless. But we're not even going to waste that much time. We want to know how you guys feel about Mercedes appearing at All in London. We're going to move straight into our predictions for Chicago's All Out, which is this Sunday live from Chicago. All right, boom. First match of the night, we have Miro versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Who do you have in this match?
I feel like they're doing more with Hobbs lately, so I'm going to go with Hobbs.
I agree. I'm going to go with Hobbs as well. Next, we have the Kenny Omega versus Konosuke Takeshita match. Who do you have? One-on-one, Kenny versus Konosuke.
I felt like after what I saw in All In, they made Takeshita look like a threat. So I'm going to go with him because, like, my eyes are zeroed in on him, the bullshit he was on. Yeah, him.
I'm going to go with Kenny Omega because even though he looked like a threat, he won with a roll-up. I think it was designed for him to get a cheap win over Kenny, but I feel like if it's a one-on-one, no distractions, no BS type of match, Kenny is taking that. I'll be very, very surprised if Konosuke goes 2-0 on Kenny Omega. Next, we have the AEW TBS Championship match. We have Chris Statlander versus Ruby Soho. Who do you have in this match?
I would love to see Ruby get a win. Could be pretty cool if the Outcast actually had two women finally get some gold. But I have a feeling since we have not seen too many Chris appearances and title defenses, I think they would want to keep it on her. That's just what I'm guessing.
I think Ruby's going to win. I think that Ruby's going to win that title. We're going to get a nice shot of Saraya and Ruby with their respective championships. I believe that this is going to be the beginning of the end of Toni Storm in the Outcast. So I feel like in order for that to happen, Ruby got to win. Now we have the AEW International Championship match between Orange Cassidy and Penta El Cero Miedo. And the winner is supposed to face Jon Moxley for this championship. So, who do you have, Orange Cassidy or Penta?
I personally want Penta, but I feel like Orange Cassidy is probably going to take it.
I agree. I'm going to go with Orange Cassidy. I think that him and John is going to be the end of Orange Cassidy's reign as the AEW International Championship. I believe that it's time for John to have another belt. And the next and the last and the final match for the AEW TNT Championship match, Luchasaurus versus Darby Allin. Who do we have?
Luchasaurus versus Darby Allin. I'm going to give it a Darby.
I'm going to give it to Darby as well. It's going to be very interesting, though, to see who touts that TNT championship, if it's Luchasaurus or if it's Christian Cage, because you know that he likes to carry around the belt. But I'm going to go with Darby, and I'm going to expect to see a feud between Christian Cage and Luchasaurus coming out of this, considering that there's been this unknown, unspoken tension. But that concludes our predictions. We want to know what yours are.